Hi everyone! Today we're diving into the fascinating world of the circulatory and cardiac system, the very system keeping each of us alive right now. Imagine the system as a busy, interconnected network responsible for keeping everything flowing smoothly. But instead of roads, trucks, or highways, we have blood vessels, red and white blood cells, and of course, the incredible heart, the most hardworking muscle in our bodies. By the end of this lesson, you will understand how the heart operates, what blood does beyond just filling up our veins, and why every single beat matters. We will explore this in detail, breaking down each step and looking at how the system works to fuel every cell in our body. To kick things off, let's talk about what the circulatory system is and why it's so important. This system functions like a complex highway system in your body, transporting oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and other vital substances to your cells while also picking up waste products like carbon dioxide. The main components of the circulatory system include the heart, which is a powerful pump that propels body throughout the body. Your blood vessels, these form the network that blood travels through. Blood vessels include arteries, veins, and capillaries. And finally, the blood, the substance that flows through the vessels, transporting oxygen, nutrients, and waste. This system works non-stop to keep every cell supplied and every organ functioning, and without it, life would be impossible. The heart is an extraordinary organ that works tirelessly from before we're even born until our very last breath. It's a muscular pump, roughly the size of a clenched fist, located in the center of the chest, slightly tilted to the left. The heart pumps around 70 milliliters of blood per beat, which adds up to about 5 liters of blood per minute. That is equivalent to pumping over 7,000 liters of blood a day. The heart's structure is quite unique, with 4 chambers that work together to ensure blood flows in a precise order. Let's break it down. First, we've got the right atrium. This is where deoxygenated blood, which is blood without oxygen, returns from the body. Then the right ventricle. Blood from the right atrium moves into this chamber, which pumps it to the lungs for oxygenation. Then we've got the left atrium. After blood picks up oxygen in the lungs, it flows to the left atrium. And then the left ventricle. The final chamber is the left ventricle, the heart's most powerful chamber. It pumps oxygen-rich blood out to the body. Each beat of the heart involves these chambers working in a perfect coordination, like a well-tuned machine. The left ventricle is especially muscular because it has to push blood through the entire body, creating a lot of pressure to reach even the most distant cells. The sound of the heartbeat, lub-dub, lub-dub, comes from the heart valves opening and closing. The valves are like doors that control blood flow between the chambers and ensure blood doesn't flow backward. There are 4 key valves. First, we've got the tricuspid valve. This valve is between the right atrium and the right ventricle. Then the pulmonary valve is located between the right ventricle and the pulmonary artery. It opens when the blood is pumped to the lungs. Then we've got the mitral valve between the left ventricle and left atrium. This valve regulates blood flow as blood fills the ventricle. Then the aortic valve, found between the left ventricle and the aorta, the body's main artery. It opens to allow blood to exit the heart and flow to the rest of the body. The rhythmic opening and closing of these valves create the familiar sound of the heartbeat. This sequence is tightly regulated by the heart's own electrical system. The heart has its own pacemaker, known as the sinoatrial node, a group of cells in the right atrium. The SA node sends electrical signals through the heart, due to which it beats and pumps blood through the chambers. These impulses travel along a pathway from the SA node to the atrioventricular or the AV node, which delays the signal slightly to allow the atria to fully contract and pump the blood into the ventricles before contraction. This electrical system will be sure that the heart beats well in coordination and in an efficient manner to adapt with the changing bodily needs. For example, during exercise, the SA node accelerates the heartbeat rate, causing more oxygenated blood to be pumped to the muscles. For example, during exercise, the SA node accelerates the heartbeat rate, causing more oxygenated blood to be pumped to the muscles. Blood vessels are the network of highways that blood travels along. The body has three main types of blood vessels: arteries, veins, and capillaries. Let's go in more detail. Arteries carry oxygen-rich blood away from the heart to the rest of the body. Arteries have thick, elastic walls because they need to withstand the high pressure of blood being pumped from the heart. The largest artery, the aorta, branches into smaller arteries and arterioles, each narrowing as they reach different parts of the body. After blood delivers oxygen and nutrients to cells, it travels back to the heart through veins. Veins have smaller and thinner walls and lower pressure than arteries, so they use a system of one-way valves to prevent blood from flowing backward. The largest veins, the superior and inferior vena cava, bring deoxygenated blood back to the right atrium. Capillaries are the smallest blood vessels, only a single cell thick. They connect arteries and veins, acting as the actual sites of gas and nutrient exchange. In the capillaries, oxygen and nutrients pass through their thin walls to reach cells, and waste products like carbon dioxide move into the blood to be carried away. The structure of each type of blood vessel is suited to its function, ensuring blood moves efficiently throughout the body. What's in blood? Blood isn't just a red liquid, it's a complex mixture of cells and plasma, each with a unique role. The components of blood are red blood cells. These cells are the main carriers of oxygen, thanks to a protein called hemoglobin, which binds to oxygen molecules in the lungs. Hemoglobin gives red blood cells their characteristic color and is essential for delivering oxygen to tissues. White blood cells. Part of the immune system, white blood cells fight infections. They recognize and destroy harmful invaders like bacteria and viruses. Some white blood cells are highly specialized to target specific threats, while others act as the body's first responders. Platelets. These are small, cell-like fragments that rush to any site of injury to form a clot, helping to stop bleeding and protecting the wound. Platelets are essential for wound healing and preventing blood loss. And finally, plasma, the liquid component of blood. Plasma is mostly water, but also contains proteins, nutrients, hormones, and waste products. Plasma serves as the medium that carries red and white blood cells and platelets throughout the body. Now let's talk about the importance of oxygen transport. Oxygen is essential because cells need it to produce energy. Through a process called cellular respiration, cells use oxygen to convert glucose, also known as sugar, into ATP, adenosine triphosphate, the main energy source for cellular functions. Without oxygen, cells would die, so the circulatory system's role in oxygen delivery is critical for survival. Let's take a step-by-step look at how blood circulates throughout the body, starting with a single heartbeat. Blood without oxygen, deoxygenated blood, returns to the heart from the body and enters the right atrium through the vena cava. Blood then flows from the right atrium to the right ventricle, which pumps it to the lungs via the pulmonary artery. Here, blood picks up oxygen and releases carbon dioxide, which is a waste product of cellular respiration. Oxygen-rich blood then returns to the heart, entering the left atrium. It then moves into the left ventricle, which pumps it out to the rest of the body through the aorta. As blood travels through arteries and reaches the capillaries, oxygen and nutrients are exchanged with cells. Blood then collects carbon dioxide and waste products from the cells. Deoxygenated blood flows back through veins to the right atrium, and the cycle repeats. This continuous loop is vital for maintaining a steady supply of oxygen and nutrients while removing waste products. Moving on to blood pressure and circulation health. Blood pressure is the force of blood pushing against the walls of arteries. It is measured in two numbers. Systolic pressure. This is the pressure when the heart beats, pumping blood into the arteries. Diastolic pressure. This is the pressure when the heart relaxes between beats. A normal blood pressure of about 120/80 millimeters of mercury is great to perfuse blood through the body and back to the heart without much work. High blood pressure, also known as hypertension, can damage blood vessels. Hypertension puts extra strain on the heart and blood vessels, and over time can cause severe health problems like heart disease, stroke, and kidney diseases. Since hypertension does not always show symptoms, it is sometimes referred to as the silent killer. That is the reason why checkups are highly important. Normal blood pressure maintains the heart and regulates the flow of blood properly. On the other hand, low blood pressure or hypotension might seem less dangerous but can also cause issues. If blood pressure is too low, not enough blood reaches the organs, causing symptoms like dizziness, fainting, and in extreme cases, shock. Blood pressure is a delicate balance, too high or too low, and the circulatory system doesn't function properly. There are several factors that affect blood pressure, which include physical activity, diet, stress, genetics, and age. Let's go in more detail. When you exercise, your heart pumps faster to supply muscles with oxygen, temporarily increasing blood pressure. Over time, regular exercise strengthens the heart, making it more efficient, and in many cases, lowering blood pressure at rest. When it comes to diet, high salt intake can raise blood pressure by causing the body to retain water, which increases the volume of blood. Diets rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains tend to support heart health. Stress causes the release of adrenaline, which raises blood pressure. Chronic stress can contribute to long-term high blood pressure. Some people have a genetic predisposition to high blood pressure, and as we age, our arteries can become less flexible, which also increases blood pressure. Moving on to the lymphatic system, the circulatory system's partner. While it's not technically part of the circulatory system, the lymphatic system works closely with it. The lymphatic system is a network of vessels and nodes that helps maintain fluid balance, fights infection, and supports immune health. It carries lymph, a clear fluid that removes waste products and excess fluids from tissues and transports them back into the bloodstream. One of the main roles of the lymphatic system is to act as the body's defense mechanism. Lymph nodes, which are small, bean-shaped structures scattered throughout the body, filter harmful substances and contain white blood cells that help fight infections. The lymphatic system is essential in preventing infections and diseases and works alongside the circulatory system to maintain homeostasis. The circulatory system doesn't just support your body, it's the foundation of your health. When the circulatory system functions well, organs receive the oxygen and nutrients they need, and waste products are effectively removed. However, When the circulatory system is compromised, it can lead to serious health conditions. Let's take a look at some common circulatory system illnesses. Atherosclerosis. This is when arteries become narrowed and hardened due to a buildup of plaque, which are cholesterol, fats, and other substances. Atherosclerosis can restrict blood flow and lead to heart attacks or strokes if left untreated. Heart attack. A heart attack happens when a coronary artery, which is an artery supplying blood to the heart muscle itself, becomes blocked. Without oxygen, the affected heart muscle tissue can die, causing serious damage or even death if not treated quickly. Stroke. A stroke can occur when blood flow to the brain is interrupted, either by a blocked or burst blood vessel. Without oxygen, brain cells begin to die within minutes, which can lead to permanent brain damage or even death. Arrhythmia. This is when the heart beats irregularly, too fast, too slow, or in an uneven rhythm. Some arrhythmias are harmless, but others can affect blood flow and require treatment. Maintaining heart and circulation health involves regular exercise, a balanced diet, stress management, and avoiding harmful habits like smoking, which can damage blood vessels and increase the risk of atherosclerosis and hypertension. To add some fun facts and a bit of awe to everything we've covered, here are a few incredible facts about the circulatory system. The length of blood vessels is incredible. If all of your blood vessels were lined up end to end, they would stretch over 100,000 kilometers, enough to circle the Earth more than twice. Your heart rate adjusts to different situations without you even thinking about it. It beats faster when you're excited or scared and slows down when you're relaxed or sleeping. When you get a cut, platelets rush to the area, forming a clot to stop the bleeding. This automatic response helps prevent infections and promotes healing. In just one day, your heart pumps around 7,000 liters of blood, which is about the amount in a small backyard pool. Each red blood cell lives for about 120 days before being recycled by the body. Every second, your body produces around 2 million new red blood cells to replace the ones that are used up. The circulatory system, a complex network that keeps us alive, is truly amazing. To keep our bodies functioning optimally, our heart, blood, and blood arteries work in perfect unison to ensure that every single cell receives the oxygen and nutrition it requires, while simultaneously discarding waste. Understanding the circulatory system not only gives us insight into how our bodies work, but also highlights the importance of taking care of our heart health. Remember, the choices you make every day, like staying active, eating nutritious foods, and managing stress, all contribute to a healthier, stronger circulatory system.